Scarpins Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sklar Country, the virus edition, aka the Pandy Pods,
aka two fellas, no Saul Bellas,
aka one Salmon Couchy, two fans of Fauci.
We got another one.
Here we go. Else. This is from Addison Walton, aka two bros that got Okendo in the Hall of Fame. I'm going to add that O. And share a last name.
All
right, guys, this is how we do it. We're jumping right in. We've got stories. We've got warnings. Listen to us. Listen to what we're saying. I'm basically going to become this couch.
Yeah, Randy, you're morphing into the couch.
I'm becoming the couch.
And I have easily the ugliest pattern ever invented.
Doesn't matter. We love it. It's how you tell the two of us apart. All right. Ready for this?
Yes.
Let's jump in right away. All right, guys, this seems like a simple request. Don't drink hand sanitizer.
Is that hard? People fight. I mean, I guess with our president suggesting.
The fact that I have to say that is just insane. How many times have you looked at your bottle of Purell and thought to yourself, that looks delicious? That just looks scrum-delicious.
Let me get up in some of that.
That clear, viscous, gloopy fluid looks like it would taste amazing.
Just so packed with flavors, with a flavor palette.
Just clean out my insides the way I wanted to.
What would it pair with?
This is what
depression?
Right. This is what a dumb person who has never spent a day living out in the world would think.
Or someone who blindly follows our dumb president and what he suggests.
And doesn't ask questions why.
Right.
This is no joke. The type of thinking that, in my opinion, caused 900 people to die in Jonestown in the 70s.
And yet, what they were drinking was Kool-Aid.
Right.
So they got
duped.
I mean, they kind of knew what was going on, but they didn't really know what was going on.
By the way, that's where we got the phrase, he drank the Kool-Aid. Trump said it to Bob Woodward in the tapes. He said, when Woodward said, do you think it's time that white people got out of the privileged caves that we were brought up in and to see the experience of black people? He's like, boy, you really drank the Kool-Aid on that one. No.
He didn't commit mass suicide with 890 other people.
No, he didn't drink the Kool-Aid. He thought about it and came up with a measured response. And maybe, to me, drinking Purell or drinking...
It's dumber than drinking Kool-Aid.
That's right, Lysol. At least Kool-Aid tastes good. Like, I don't even understand how you
maybe that's the new phrase. It should be, boy, he really drank the hand sanitizer on that one.
That means you're so blindly following.
Boy, you really downed the Lysol on that one, dummy.
That's right. Nothing is masked in the drinking of Kool-Aid, of hand sanitizer. Nothing is masked. Nothing. Not the hand sanitizer, not the taste, not the person drinking it. Nothing is masked in that scenario.
Let's get into this story from Michigan.
Check out this next story in relation to what we were just talking about. Hand sanitizer available in Michigan has been recalled because it was incorrectly labeled edible alcohol.
Who did that? Who is the idiot who did that? And then who's the idiot who wasn't doing their job or literally signed off on that?
Yeah.
Someone who believes in the president? Someone who believes in what was said?
So allowed to print it on labels, allowed to have those labels sent out.
That means goes past several levels of checking.
Then gets sent out and put on shelves, and someone putting it on the shelf didn't look at it and be like, hey, is this edible?
Should we say this?
Should we?
I guarantee you someone took it up to somebody somewhere and said,
should we be,
this
says edible. I don't think that's correct.
It's not underwear at a Spencer Gifts.
Right.
This is hand sanitizer.
Everybody thought everybody else was paying attention. That's what's going on.
That's how a baby goes down a well.
By the way,
were you watching him? I wasn't watching. I don't know.
Hey, wait a minute is not a bad thing to say. When did that become a bad thing to say? It's the first step towards balance that we'll have in this world.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait. What are we writing on this?
Hey, wait a minute is the beginning of analysis and rational thought. Hey, wait a minute. It's a giant FU to blind faith. That's essentially what it is. Mm-hmm. Corgio Med LLC is voluntarily recalling all lots of leaf-free. It's not even. It's Leafree.
It's leaf-free.
Leaf-free. So
LEA leaf and free out.
Instant hand sanitizer, aloe vera, an alcohol-based hand rub that can be applied externally to reduce bacteria on the skin.
And it does look like it's not Purell, so it looks kind of organic. It almost looks like hey, maybe
you
we
could
did
eat
make
it.
it out of something that's natural.
But it says edible on the bottle.
Right?
I'm going to assume that no one gets fired on this, right,
Yeah,
Jay?
yeah.
Or if you do get fired,
I was just following the president's suggestion.
Yeah.
I don't know why
That
I'm
can't be
suddenly
bad.
a bad person.
and then they had to put out the statement, ingesting hand sanitizer, which is intended for topical use, may result in alcohol toxicity. A risk statement from the company reads.
A risk statement that no one will ever read.
No, hear or see, because who is going to that company's website on any level? Nobody. Not even the guy who designed the website and was asked to go back and update some things.
I guarantee you, people who buy hand sanitizer in stores in Michigan, like Meijer, aren't saying, hey, kids, before you use that, we're just going to go to the website
and just
make
look,
sure
see
there's
if
no
it's-
negative messages about
And if
this.
something's incongruent, we'll get to the bottom of it. No one's saying that.
No one has time to get to the bottom of anything.
Symptoms of alcohol toxicity may range from lack of coordination, slowed and slurred speech, drowsiness to coma, which can be fatal. Coma is basically the most drowsy you can be,
That's a super drowsy state.
right? So maybe they're
In a coma, maybe they can't catch coronavirus. So maybe in some weird way, they can't go out without a mask on. Maybe this is the best way. Maybe this is how hand sanitizer saves people. Put them in a coma, put them in their house.
That's right.
Wait this thing out.
I can't wait to hear this argument being made by the administration. Guys, if you're dead, Corona can't affect you. The company also noted that the labeling of the product as edible alcohol may promote the behavior of ingesting it. May promote
it's
it.
an actual order to do it in
Which
some
is
ways.
not recommended in any situation. Edible on the packaging means it's cool to eat it. We all
Yeah.
understand that. We all agree with that.
People read that and they're like, okay, this is what I can do.
So this tells me that the FDA is no longer functioning.
No.
Because they would have been like, hey, guys, we can't.
My first thought is, what crony of Trump's is running the FDA right
that's
now?
caused this to just slide its way
What
through.
frat brother of Eric Trump is running
Something
the
doesn't
FDA?
feel right. The product is packaged in 100 milliliter bottles. The product was distributed nationwide. Good. So now everyone can take a sip, right?
Yeah.
Corgiomed is notifying the distributors and customers by email and is arranging for the return.
Corgiomed sounds like Italian Club Med.
Right? Corgiomed.
I went to Corgiomed.
Was it all inclusive?
All inclusive.
You drank all the hand
Yeah,
sanitizer
you drink as
want?
much as you want. They don't even charge you.
And you don't have to pay your bill because you're dead at
I
the
went
end.
to the hotel where I got engaged,
Corgiomed?
Corgiomed. It was in California, and in the fridge,
Corgiomed is like Italian Chicago Med.
I opened up the fridge, and there were no prices on anything, and
So
you could
you could just eat everything.
Well, no, and everything was included. It said it. They said anything in your refrigerator in the bar you can eat. And I'm like, how cool is this? Everything's included. And my girlfriend and the wife at the time was like, yeah, they charge a lot for the room, so it's kind of included, but it's
not included.
They go ahead and assume you're eating everything all the time.
So better. So eat up.
Eat up.
Drink
I
up
like
that
ate-
hand. It's Corgiomed. Drink that hand
Drink
sanitizer.
that hand sanitizer. Eat those Snickers bars.
Drink that hand san. So who's going to go through the process of returning their hand sanitizer? This is what we were talking about before. Nobody. The process of returning
It's too
that
much
item
work
is
to put on people who are already too put upon.
Yeah.
You can't make mistakes in messaging. The first time you get it out is the only time people are going to be looking at it, period.
This is what people would say. I would rather drink this hand sanitizer and go into a coma than
Then
have
go
to
on the
return it.
website and try to decipher whether or not this is it, or go back to the store and return it.
You'll want to kill yourself. There are so many complicated steps.
Yeah.
Consumers should contact their physician or healthcare provider if they have experienced any problems that may be related to the product. Yeah, you should never take from taking that product. You should never take hand sanitizer.
You should take it to your kids to use on their hands. That's it.
Don't take this at all. You can apply it. You can use
Rub
it.
it.
Rub it all over. Do not take it.
You can dispense it.
If you believe that this is what you need to do, take it then. I say, or take it. Go ahead, take it.
Take it.
That warning labels to not drink hand sanitizer is a hoax. That is now what that's what we've come to.
Who do we believe? Who do we believe? It's crazy.
By the left-wing mainstream media. It's a hoax that if you drink hand sanitizer, you're going to die. That's where we've come. Can you believe that's where we've gone?
No, I can't, and it's sad.
We'll line up shots for you at the swim up bar down at Hotspot Island if you want. You
Hotspot
deserve
Island,
it.
wide open
Take
for
a
you.
shot of hand san if you believe this is still a hoax. Go for it. It's insurance that you'll never get corona. Go ahead, take a few shots. I just cannot believe we're living in a time where drinking Lysol and hand sanitizer has been politicized. Is that just insane?
Right. Like, which side of that argument are you on? We're all on the side where you don't do it.
If you want to understand how messed up this world is, that's it.
You want the mainstream media to tell you what to do and what not to do? Fine. Don't drink hand sanitizer.
Think about how the person that approved that label will not get fired, or if they do get fired, they will become Trump's new appointee for the FDA.
That's correct.
This is it.
That's
on
it.
resume alone, on hand sand cocktail recipe alone, that's what's gonna happen. And that's our first story.
There you go. When we come back,
South Dakota.
Oh, South Dakota, you've messed up so many times. Now you've reached new heights.
Or lows.
We'll tell you all about it right after this break. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. As we are always pushing and reminding, still a few more days. We're into the almost next week.
Yeah.
1 week and 1 day away from Live Dumb People Town, Saturday the 26th. Mike Birbiglia, Mike Doty.
Get your tickets now, eventbrite.com. You look
There's only
up
a few
Live Dumb
tickets
People
left.
Town.
They're going.
They're going. We want you to be a part of it. It's a great way to have a night out while you're in.
So people ask us, how can we support you guys in this time? You know, we're not able to go on the road. We're not able to do live shows. This is it. We do one live show every 5 weeks. This is the way. If you want to really support us, get a ticket for the show. The other way you can support us, which costs you nothing.
But go to our YouTube page. Look up Sklar Bro Country and look at all the videos. Sit through the ads. That helps us out.
Subscribe to it. It's very easy. It's one click and you subscribe. It's no commitment, but tool around. There's funny stuff on there, and we're adding new stuff all the time, including cheap seats. All right,
let's jump into this.
So South Dakota, crushing it lately.
Killing it.
Didn't Trump make a speech in front of Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, he said he should be on Mount Rushmore.
He has suggested that he should be on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, go ahead. Do it.
So replace Lincoln with Trump.
Do it.
Trump's done more for black culture than Lincoln didn't he?
I mean, he's fired it up.
You got women dragged by animals after approaching and trying to pet their babies on a road.
Smart move.
That's just a smart move.
Is that the woman from the cow? The cow woman.
Yeah, in the animal kingdom, mother animals are always pretty lax when other animals that are seen as predators approach their babies.
Yeah, they're just pretty much like, you can do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
That's just my baby. I don't have many things that I care about in life, and my babies are definitely not one of them.
Then you got a 10-day motorcycle festival, Sans Masks, that has literally become the biggest super spreader event
in the entire United States.
250,000?
250,000 people approximately infected, and probably more if you contact trace that out.
They have more reach than the USPS.
At this point, they do.
Because the disease, like defense in football, travels well.
Yes, it does.
Great call to have a huge festival right now and gather people from all corners of the country.
And then send them back a little gift.
With a little present.
Yep.
Well, what if we told you there might be an even crazier story from up there?
I would be like, tell it.
One that at this point, it shouldn't surprise you, but it
doesn't make it any less awful.
Or unlawful from the least likely or most likely because he's a Republican source.
Right.
South Dakota Attorney General Jason Ravensborg.
Mm-hmm. Ravensborg to me sounds like a robot that's gone wrong.
Right.
Like a cyborg that needs to be reprogrammed because it's drunk all the time.
Right. Ravensborg, and I'll get into what I think it sounds like, reported hitting a deer with his car on Saturday night.
Yeah. I'm guessing this happens all the time up in South Dakota, right? And deer are
everywhere. You're up there, you're driving, it's nighttime, you see the deer, it's got that deer in the headlights look coming at you because it's literally in your headlights as you're driving.
What if it doesn't have that look when it's there? What if it's calm, cool, and collected and you're the one who's...
Well, maybe you just assume that it has the deer in the head because you're hitting it with your car. It's in your field of vision. Maybe it runs out last minute. You can't avoid it.
Who knows?
You crash into it. Usually, if you hit a deer, that's a lot of damage to your car.
Yeah. We've seen a deer. Didn't Jeff Ross's car get hit by a deer?
But got hit by a deer or you hit a deer. It's a lot of damage. All right. But you hit a deer. I'm not sure.
You can keep driving.
I'm not sure why you report that. I mean, who are you reporting that to?
Yeah.
AAA?
I guess.
You report to AAA to fix your car.
That's right, to tow you.
Maybe the highway patrol to clean it up.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out Ravensborg, which I think sounds like the name of any number of villains in any number of 1980s action movies.
Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Die Hard, Terminator 2, Ravensborg. Ravensborg turns out
that's what house I didn't get into in Harry Potter. Ravensborg.
Right. Ravensborg turns out he did not hit a deer, but actually killed a pedestrian.
Oh.
Whose body was not found until the next day. State investigators said Monday. Wait.
What?
He hit a guy.
And killed him.
It was the guy in a deer costume. I don't mean to make light of this, but come on.
There is no way he mistook a man for a deer.
Right.
He knew what he did and he drove away. It's a hit and run. Dummy.
And he knows the law.
Yeah, he's the attorney general. I'm assuming he knows
the
the
state.
law.
Ravensborg's office It's always good when your office is making your statement for
Right.
you. Said he immediately called 911 after the accident on a rural stretch of U.S.
You know
Highway
the way you
14.
call 911 to have an ambulance come out for a deer?
Yeah, when you hit a deer, you immediately call 911.
That's what you gotta do.
This is where the lie's starting to get you.
Starting to unravel.
Don't start
Ravensburg.
lying about stuff.
This is where the Ravens starts to borg.
That's right. You don't call 911 if you hit a deer. You just
right.
don't, unless you're hurt.
That's right.
So why would he immediately call 911 after the accident on a rural stretch of U.S. Highway
Feels
14?
weird to me.
And he didn't realize he had hit the man until the body was found.
Yep.
So he
Let the
called
body sit
911 for a deer, like they have nothing better to do.
Uh-huh.
The Department of Public Safety issued a statement Monday that said that only that Ravensburg told the Hyde County Sheriff's Office that he hit a deer with his 2011 Ford Taurus. Shouldn't he have a better car than a 2011 Ford Taurus?
You're the Attorney General of the state. You can get a Ford.
That's a 9-year-old car right now.
Yeah, I could see him in a Mitsubishi Eclipse.
The agency did not say whether he reported the crash in a 911 call.
Because he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't do it.
You know what he did? He called his buddy in a panic at the highway patrol.
And they're like, we got to work
Sheriff's
this thing out.
County's
Let's
office.
get
Yeah.
our stories correct.
Right. And they said, let's work it out. And then they didn't do it. Good job of it.
Right.
They didn't do it.
Yeah.
The man who was identified as a 55-year-old man, Joseph Bover, or Baver,
Was not found until Sunday morning.
55, by the way, sounds like an old guy.
6 years older than us. It's not
We're-
that old.
I used to sound super old.
Jesus.
He had crashed his truck in the area earlier, according to relatives, and was apparently walking on the road toward it, which, again, not a great idea on a
No.
rural road at night. This is all about...
I think rural people have cell phones too. You
Yeah.
can call AAA too. It's like not
I would stay
against
off the road.
It's not against the law to have AAA.
So this is all about people. This story, I think, about people thinking they can get away with breaking the law because they're in a position of power.
That's right.
They're like, I'll get out of it.
Or at the very least, I'll get a pardon from Trump.
That's right. That's what people in power thinks these days. The law is not for them.
Does not apply.
Guy walking on the side of the road,
Clip them.
clip him.
Clip them like you're Tony Stewart on a dirt truck racing track.
Yeah. Nothing's gonna happen to you, just like
Yeah.
it didn't happen to him.
Yeah.
Call it a deer.
People will buy it because people are dumb, right? That's what you're saying. People are dumb.
That has to be the assumption, right, Rand?
Yeah, yeah.
That has to be the assumption. And what could the guy walking on the outside of the road, what could he have even done?
To this guy in a millisecond at night. What did he do to him that caused him to want to clip him? I don't even understand.
It was a mistake. Ravensburg was driving back from a Republican fundraiser at Rooster's Bar and Grill.
Translation, he's wasted.
He was drunk.
He's drunk.
Yeah, no one gets out of Rooster's Bar and Grill sober.
Nobody gets out of Rooster's Bar and Grill unscathed.
I'm going to tell you, Rooster's Bar and Grill has not been closed for more than 5 minutes since the pandemic hit.
Roosters has a wet T-shirt contest as part of its trivia night
Yeah. Rooster serves everything in to-go cups.
with a lid, including your own vomit.
Roosters has the movie The Accused playing on a loop in the back pinball room.
Yeah.
That's how out of touch these guys are.
That's why Ravensburg called in the deer too.
There's no way to get a toxicology report on this guy now. He called it in.
Yeah.
Let me say it's a deer.
Yeah.
They're like, if you say it's a deer, we're not coming out there.
That's
we don't
right.
have to investigate.
That's
We
right.
don't have to pull you in
That's
and
right.
take your blood alcohol level.
That's right.
That's it. If they say, I don't know what I hit, I may have hit somebody, then they got to pull this guy in and
That's
give
right.
him a
It's the
breathalyzer.
whole thing at that point.
So the sheriff's department probably told him, hey, just say you hit a deer. And then we're not going to come to you, and then you can sober up. Now, here's another theory. All right, I have. He got so drunk at the Republican fundraiser at Rooster's Bar and Grill that he thought he hit a deer.
Yeah.
Now, is that possible?
Maybe he was that drunk he thought the guy had antlers on.
Rooster probably gave him a little extra on his way out the door.
Sure. That's what Rooster does.
And the sheriff heard it in his voice. State's attorney general told him to back off. You're going to lose your job.
Helps to be empowered. See, above the law.
Look, what I'm saying is if George Floyd was the attorney general of the state of Minnesota, then maybe he doesn't get murdered on the street.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
I don't know.
I'm not saying this is a Republican-only thing, because I know Democrats, look at Ted Kennedy, Democrats have had drinks and driven and gotten into trouble and things
This
like
is a
that.
power thing. It's not even a.
But
left or
I
right.
am guessing that there probably aren't a lot of Democratic fundraisers going on right now
not
in
at-
Rooster's
Not
Bar
at
and
Roosters.
Grill
Not at Roosters in
with
South
drinking.
Dakota.
This feels like a South Dakota. We're up here. We don't have to follow the rules.
We don't need masks.
We can have a 10-day biker festival for 75,000 people.
Hell, our attorney general mowed a man down, killed him, and then he got to say he hit a deer. That's what South Dakota is.
We don't have to listen to nobody. That's what South Dakota says.
Which is a double negative.
Meaning you have to listen to everybody.
That's right.
But that to me is what this entire story is about. When you really break it down, when you get into the heart of what this is a guy
who's above the law.
Who's above the law
Thinks
because
he's
he
above
is the law.
Thinks he's above the law.
And he got caught. You got caught. You got caught somehow. You didn't do a good enough job because you literally thought you're so far above the law that you don't have to
one answer to it.
If he really wasn't above the law, if he thought, okay, I'm in trouble now, he would have had to pull over, grab this guy, throw him in the trunk, and take him
That's right.
to where the police chief is and go deal with this.
But he thought he was above the law. I think he might have even been too drunk.
All right,
that's the show.
There's your show.
That's how we do it. You guys have a great. Is this the weekend already?
Yeah, yes. We're heading into the weekend. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend. Stay connected. Stay protected. Don't be infected. Wear a mask. It's not a hoax.
We've got the jokes.
We love you guys. Have a great weekend.
La-ti-da, la-ti-da-ti-da-ti-da, la-ti-da.